Professor Bachmann told News Corp he sees such pushback already happening on a multitude of fronts. Aggressive behavior by China is being pushed back by Canberra, but worrying developments in the Indo-Pacific could give them the ability to coerce Australia. Distant. Insignificant. Safe. But Australia's place in the world has changed. And trouble's reaching into our backyard. On the global stage, Australia's sticking its neck out. It is heartening to see that Australia, as a leading middle power, is once more playing an important role in upholding the global rules-based order in the region, says Professor Sasha Dominic, Dov, Bachmann, with the Morrison government displaying awareness of Beijing as a source and originator of current threats to regional and global rule of law, security, and stability. But Canberra's also feeling threatened. China's influence eroding the sovereignty of Australia and New Zealand has been known for years, and the Morrison government has been at the forefront of countering Beijing's such gray zone or hybrid activities, he writes. But Beijing's ability to act beyond cyber and influence operations is growing. Historically, the region has not been a leading source of traditional military threats, argues Pacific Forum analyst Tom Corbin, but America and Australia can no longer afford to overlook the Pacific as a locus of Chinese security activity. China has already hinted at its desire to establish a permanent military presence in the region. This could give Beijing the ability to coerce island nations, including Australia, and sever critical supply lines with the United States. Such a development would allow China to surveil alliance peacetime activities, exert control over vital waterways, or threaten local forces in the event of major conflict in Asia, he writes. Beijing's increased aggressive behavior had to be countered at one point, and this is what is happening now. Lowy Institute Director of International Security Sam Raghaveen says recent policy documents have made Canberra's core strategic interest clear. The 2016 White Paper says that the rules-based order is something we should be willing to fight for, he writes in an interpreter commentary. The big question that hangs over our commitment to use force in defense of the rules-based order is, how far would we go? Would Australia fight to keep Taiwan free and democratic? Australian warships and aircraft have joined US, Indian, and Japanese forces in recent drills. They also are likely to team up with a British aircraft carrier task force when it visits the South China Sea later this year. Professor Bachmann told News Corp he sees such pushback already happening on a multitude of fronts.